Bitcoin is about to have a huge breakout. Let's get into the charts. Welcome back to Max Trades Crypto. Today we're going to be going over a few of the 4-hour scenarios on the chart. Now, before we get into those scenarios, please do like and subscribe down below and join the Discord so you guys can get access to all my updates every single day. So, on our first scenario, we're going to be going through quite a few today, is this one here. We have a few issues on the chart in full at the moment, right? The issues is this move down is a joke. It ruins every single chart you can try and form, right? So this is specifically a Binance chart at the moment that I'm analyzing. You can see at the top Binance. Now, on the Binance chart, this wick went all the way down to $101,000, right? Very, very problematic. Now, for this scenario here, we then have an A wave B, and a wave C in a flat structure. Now, if I were to do some quick education, a flat structure is where we have an A, B, and a wave C, where the B takes the high of the wave A and the C takes the low of the wave A. So in this case, you can see here that we have a 3-wave structure in wave A, B, C, a 3-wave structure in wave B, B, C, and now a massive move down in possibly a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, finishing that wave C. But now, if obviously for this move to be valid, we would need to take out the low at $101,000. Right? This is a ridiculous target at the moment from where we are. And I know we've seen it before, but another 10 or 11% down means we get kind of a move like we had at the top here, right? Kind of a move all the way, this entire candle until the range. So we get another move down like that, which is possible, but just a very, very crazy thing to expect now from the crypto market. But this is one of our scenarios on the chart currently. Then, if we look at our second scenario on the chart, we have a WXY where we are finished. The range is now finished and we are only heading up back to the all-time highs, right? I don't believe this is the main scenario, as this doesn't look likely to me. We have a W down, an X up, and a Y that is straight in an ABC, where the wave C is probably extended over about 6 times, if I were to say. So if we toggle on the, let's say the 4.27, okay, not 6. So just under 4 times the length of wave A measures this wave C, right? Very, very, very unlikely, but it's happened before. In crypto ranges, we have seen where we had a small A, B, and a C down, and we then took the all-time highs. But the problem is now this range forming here, right? This range is not at all the structure we want to see when we are looking now for all-time highs. We always want to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by 3 waves down, and then continuation up. But at the moment, we are not seeing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are seeing a 1, 2, 3, stop, and more down, right? So just very unlikely in that essence at the moment. Then, if we look at our third scenario here, now I've marked off this scenario as a possibility as well, where we have a triangle, but it is very, very difficult to call, right? We can't call a triangle until the wave D is in, right? And then we can look for possible wave E targets. But just to keep the charts full, we have another W, X, and a Y, but instead of a W, X, and a Y finished over here, we have a W, X, and a Y finished over here, where Y is a triangle. Every move in a triangle is often a 3-wave move: A, B, C down, A, B, C up, A, B, C down, another 3-wave, and then we look for those all-time highs, right? But at the moment, this wave C, even in being a complex structure very, very often, is not very nicely produced, right? It is a very, very messy structure. So Where I do think the wave C would end around is possible the 1-to-1 at $107,300. That is just an A B, and a C. So this being the A, the measurement to the C over there, right? That is what I see on the chart currently. Then for our final scenario here, where we actually are not finished the wave Y, we have a WX and a wave Y, but instead of wave Y finishing here, or instead of wave Y doing a triangle, then we have just a standard A B, and a wave C. We should be seeing now in the wave C a 1 2 1 2, and then a big move down 3 4 5 4 5, and then the turnaround towards those all-time highs again, right? This is a very, very likely structure in my sense. So the two that I'm looking at as most likely, right, let's just do some probabilities quickly, is our main scenario where we have our 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, right? And the only issue with this scenario is that this wave 4 came very, very high. But on charts where the wick is not ridiculously long, we have this wave 4 still being valid. Then the second scenario on the chart, in my opinion, is this one here, where we have the W, the X, and the Y with the A, B, and wave C, right? Issue with this chart is that we had 1 2 1 2 3. We're kind of missing the 4 5 4 5. We could look for it inside this wick. Very, very not. It's very difficult to find them, but the other scenarios are just too early to currently call, making this our second scenario, but this being our main scenario at the moment. Now, I want to show us just a 15-minute scenario here, where I just broke down the 15-minute on the chart for you guys. We have a possible A, B, C up in a wave W, followed by a wave X, and now we're looking for a wave Y, possibly finishing the wave 4 or the wave B in this case. So we are still looking for that move towards the upside. Inside this wave Y, we have an A B, and a wave C, standard flat structure in the wave Y. The wave Y targets, or the B wave in the wave Y targets sit at 109,000 to 108,400, right? So looking for price to possibly go a W, an X, A, B, C, and then further moves down, right? Very, very kind of the only option that I see at the moment on the chart, as the triangle was invalidated. If we take a thing here, triangle was invalidated. We have an incredibly messy structure over here. The only other one I could possibly see is a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a wave 5 in some form of diagonal. Let me just draw this better. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a wave 5, some form of diagonal, finishing some form of wave C, and then we move up before we move down again, right? So that's what I currently see on the chart, but this being our main 15-minute scenario at the moment. Then I do just want to show you guys on the 4-hourly time frame our trend lines at the moment. Now, this trend line here we can see is hanging by an absolute thread, right? We touched it once, we touched it twice, and we've rejected again, but now it is really, really close to just breaking down and completely taking out that area. If we do break down from this, I expect us to either touch this trend line again, this descending trend line here, or come all the way down to this one here, where we have possible 1 2 3 4 and then 5 4 5s, and touching this area at around $97,000, right? That is what I see. But if we hold, the likelihood we are going back and higher from this area is also high, right? Only if we hold though. On the 15-minute time frame, we can see we are currently making some form of triangle. It is false broken out quite a few times now, and if it breaks to the upside, we are going to be seeing higher prices. Currently at the moment as well, hanging on an absolute thread, right? So do be very, very careful with this range. If you guys have made profit in the market already, please be careful with this range, and it is very, very choppy, right? We could see something like here, up, down, right, in that WXY, WX, and wave Y. And then this range has just eaten everyone's profits, right? So be very, very careful here. Now, for trade possibilities on the 4-hourly time frame, this is our main scenario currently, and we are looking for lower prices. At the moment, I would say, guys, please just wait, right? This is a very, very difficult market to see, but we are looking at prices that are just so heavily manipulated. We can see this massive wick to the downside. I would say wait on the 4-hourly time frame for any further trade. If we do see a possible 3, 4, 5, and then we start turning around here, that's when something else could, or an opportunity could present itself for a long. If we see something like this, A, B, C, and now we are, or 1, 2, 1, 2, and now we are looking for higher, and we reject from this area or this range, which is possible or very, very likely in my opinion, where we could then look for shorts at this area instead, right? So just be very, very patient at the moment. It's very difficult with this massive wick coming in, right? So that is where I would lay my trades at the moment, either at these lows, or if we go higher, then up to here in a corrective structure, then I would see one more move down before ultimately higher prices, right? So be very, very careful in this range here. But guys, thanks so much for watching. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. Leave a comment if you'd like, and join the Discord. The Discord is a really valuable place with people talking all the time about the charts, so you can get other people's opinions and ideas. But it's been Max Trades Crypto. Cheers, guys.